And we're back with more Corathon. I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be on this Sunday, and hopefully you can't either, because we have a super amazing Outbound Ghost any percent run done by SongofSoil. Soil, I think we're ready for you, so over to you.
Hello everybody, my name is SongofSoil, and I am here to showcase the Outbound Ghost, a game published by Digerati and developed by Conradical Games. I have a personal touch with Conrad. He's an amazing developer. This game is fantastic. It's a Paper Mario-esque RPG. So if you are familiar with the Paper series or like the South Park series, you'll kind of understand how the game works. I'm going to be playing on easy. We're going to be doing any percent, and the run is about an hour 30 to about an hour 40, depending on RNG goes. So to explain this game, there's actually a lot of options, so for anybody who's ever interested in it, and let's say you're not good at the game, they actually have a lot of accessibility options, like your damage taken, damage done, experience multiplier, difficulty, stuff like that. And it has a built-in randomizer, so if you are someone who likes randomizers, you can do Figment randomization, enemy randomization, item randomize. You can start with all Figments, or you can prevent yourself from getting Figments, so you can do like a super hardcore playthrough if you would like. So there's a lot of possibilities with the game, which is why I love it so much. Oh, I'm so sorry, yes, let me do that real quick. Give me 1 second. Awesome. Are we all good? Perfect. Okay. So with that, I am going to make sure that all my settings are ready. We're going to start a new game on easy, no randomization, and I guess on go, we can start the timer. Are you ready, Happy?
I am ready. I've never seen this game before, so I am super pumped to see this.
It's a blast. There's going to be a little bit of walking, as we have found a lot of skips that go over some major areas, but there'll be a lot to talk about, so it won't be too much dead air.
Oh god, not the walking. Anything but the walking.
Anything but the walking. Alright, so we're going to start on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so at the beginning of the game, I'm going to be presented with my movement, which is dashing. So when this game first came out, you had to mash the dash, but Conrad thought that was really bad on speedrunners' hands, so he implemented it to where all you have to do now is hold the button. So with that dash, I can actually skip over this fence and head straight past the tutorial, skipping the entire area and moving on to the actual main game. This was about a good 5 to 6 minute time save, as we skipped 2 fights, having to collect 3 items or do any of that. And we move into our first cutscene where we meet Mary, Michael, and the best doggo ever. Michael, our phallic friend, I like to call him. His shape is a little, that's the inside joke between us and the community. We have Mary, who is the sweet-toothed girl who holds an innocent personality but is very devious. And then we have our main character who has no name as of yet. Did we come up with a name, or is that still a thing that we are waiting for?
So we are still waiting.
Perfect.
We have not gotten any donations yet, so...
No problem. So then, if we get to the point with the name of character, we're just going to do a randomize, and we'll see what it comes up with. There is a 3% chance that we can get Conrad's name, which I like to think is the luckiest name that we can get, because it is the developer's name. But it's only a 3% chance, so maybe we might see it.
Perfect.
So right here, we are talking to Bill, and he's introducing us to the campfire system, which is how we save our game. And we actually need to save our game right there, because when you skip the tutorial, a glitch happens where if you get into a fight, it teleports you back to the beginning of the area. So you have to make sure you save, and that's the only time we save in the game. So any deaths in this run will send us all the way back to the beginning, but there's no worries about that. There's no way we're going to lose any of these battles. So this is going to be our first battle. The reason why I dropped down here to fight them is these enemies have a chance of dropping items that we need, such as respites and dirt. So respites are a way for us to make this thing called Power Hungry. And Power Hungry is an ability that we can use to increase our damage up to 75%, which we just got a respite, so that's good. I picked up a map earlier as well. We use that map to teleport back up to the top so we don't have to wait. I'm going to get into a fight with this mage as he has a chance to drop a flower for us. And so we're going to hopefully get a flower. If we don't, that's okay. Alright, so we're going to just move on and not worry about getting the flower. It's important for an item later on, but there is ways to get 3 of them without needing to get the RNG factor. It's just faster if you are able to get one right now instead of having to wait. Alright, so now we're past the area, meeting up with Michael and Mary again. We're about to get our second Figment that we're able to use in our battle, which is our healer. Sadly enough, we'll be dropping our healer later in the run, but for now, they'll be used for some DPS.
Soil, I have a comment. Is now a good time?
Yeah, go ahead. You can interrupt anytime you need to.
Perfect. Well, I'm looking at these graphics, and are they intended to be kind of Paper Mario-esque? Was that an inspiration for this game?
Yes, it was. And also, for anybody wondering about the graphics, I do have them on as low as possible. Because I just don't want any frame drops or any issues with loading into fights. But yes, Conrad's inspiration was the Paper Mario series. He's had a huge fascination with the art style for a long time, and is even creating a new game called Soul Stalker with the same art style.
Well, I love it. I've always liked the Paper Mario series art style. So I'm eating this up right now. This is so cool.
So I do have to chime in with the game that something I was going to bring up a little bit later, but because you asked the question, this is a good time to talk about it. I highly recommend nobody buying the game right now. The reason why I recommend nobody purchasing the game is that there's an ongoing lawsuit between the publisher and the developer for unfinished ports of the game. So the game was launched unfinished on a lot of the ports, and Conrad does not believe that was fair to the people who bought the game. So he has tried to DMCA his own game on every platform, because he got no royalties and was not paid a single penny for this game. So I just can't have anybody support it in my conscience. Even though it's an amazing game, there's just a lot going on in the background. Which is a fascinating story on its own. If you ever get the time and you want to look it up, it is a very fascinating look between developer and publishers and what can happen. Alright, so we are meeting Adrian, the antagonist of the story. So the story with this game is that you play as a ghost who is going through Outbound. Outbound is technically the afterlife. Your goal is to figure out the mystery of what happened to this town and why everybody has passed away. So you meet up with all of these other ghosts, and your goal is to relieve them of their burdens so they can pass on into the true afterlife while you solve the mystery of the town. So the mystery is there is somebody with multi-personality disorder, which we'll kind of go through that later, who ends up being more than just one person and ends up poisoning the town and takes guilt upon it, which is why you play with figments of your emotions, such as regret, callousness, and stuff like jealousy. You play with all the emotions that you still hold dear to you that you try to fight off all of your demons with. Very dark story, and it's kind of in this really cutesy art style. So right here, I'm letting that vampire go a little bit ahead so we can grab this shovel. This shovel allows us to dig up these dirt piles so we can grab items such as flowers, respites, and other things. And as you noticed, I will be entering into bushes and the screen will go gray. When the screen is gray, that means that enemies don't know where you're at. You are hidden from them, so you can bypass them using like a sneaky technique. But you also don't need bushes to do that. If you just pause the game, it confuses the enemies and they just pretend like you're not there. Just like that. So, they just get a question mark above their head, so you can bypass them without actually needing to fight them at all. I don't know why it was implemented in the game, but, you know, it's nice for speedruns. Alright, entering to the beach. Oh, we just came across a little glitch. So sometimes that'll happen. If you move your D-pad too fast on controller as you enter into a key sequence, you can actually lock the selector for the key, so you can't actually pick lock. You have to exit out of the sequence, go back to the gate, and retry it again. Alright, here comes our second major skip of the run. There's a boss coming up that we would normally have to fight that has 2 bats, and he's a giant vampire, and he's very hard, especially at the level that we're at. One of the community members found this right here, where you can skip over this gate, hug it, and you can bypass the trigger, completely skipping the boss fight and moving on to the next area. which was a huge time save, allowing us not to have to farm levels. So we can just bypass all fights and make our way to the actual first dungeon. So after this cutscene, I picked up a smoke bomb at the very beginning of the game, and that's what this smoke bomb is used for. I'm gonna enter a well, and in this well, it's gonna be very concave and very claustrophobic, and there's gonna be the fastest moving enemy in the game in here. So, without pause manipulation... Oh, alright, looks like we didn't get through him. So this is why I pick up the smoke bomb. Just in case it ends up failing, we can escape the battle and not have to worry about him, because it despawns him out of the world and the fight is over. There is no run mechanic in this game, so if you get into a fight and you don't have smoke bombs, you are stuck in that fight until you finish it. There's no way out of them. So you have to be super strategic on how you maneuver around enemies and how you use your smoke bombs. Alright, so what I just picked up was a map that we'll be using later, as you can use maps to teleport as we saw earlier in the run. Right here, Mary is going to be talking to the old man, Frank, and they're going to be talking about one of the other characters that we'll meet inside the mines that we're going to see right here. The Outbound Mines. That is our first dungeon of the game, and we'll come across our first boss in there. So you'll also notice I'm passing up all of those green, the pink sparkles. Those are actually, sorry, I have a sore throat. Those are actually powers, but we don't need them, as the only power that we need in this run is Power Hungry and Fast Burn. So we already have Power Hungry, we just need to get Fast Burn now. Alright, while this cutscene is going on, I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick.
You know, totally understandable. My throat's been a little itchy all day too. You know, here in the Northwest, it's allergy season, and it can really be killer. So shout outs to anyone who's experiencing allergies or sore throats or anything like that.
Ooh, yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. I live in Washington State, so I'm in the Pacific Northwest as well.
Oh.
And it is killing me.
What a coincidence. I also live in Washington State.
I'm planning on going to the event in Centralia. I'm hoping to be able to get into that.
Oh, is that a Northwest Speed Fest?
Yes, it is.
Heck yeah. I won't be able to go because I'll be at GDQ, sadly, but that sounds like...
Sadly? Oh, sadly. You're gonna have a blast at GDQ. Come on, it'll be amazing.
It's such a chore having to go to Games Done Quick. Oh, man. No, but I want to go hang out with my Northwest Speedrunner friends, too, so definitely next time it happens, I will be there.
Awesome, that's so amazing to hear. So what we're doing right here is I am passing through the mines. I'm gonna... it looks like Mr. Mushroom caught on to my character. I'm trying to make my way through the mines without getting in too many fights. And also not trying to pick up items that I don't need, such as like lockpicks, as it wastes time as the pop-up will appear. Ooh, my allergies are killing me right now. My eyes are watering.
Yep, I feel that. It's harder to breathe in Washington State in April.
Okay, so now that we're not talking to Frank, we're going to get into our first major battle that actually can go really wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Aether up all of my teammates. So what Aethering up does is allows me to use 2 attacks in 1 turn. And every enemy that we fight has a yellow bar below them, which means it's a stun bar. If we can get their bar down to, get it all the way filled up, it'll stun them and they will take double damage. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Oh, I'm having a hard time. So it looks like we're having really good RNG, as he has decided to completely ignore Regret and is going for Callus, which is our tank. So that's exactly what we need. Alright, goes for our healer, which we don't need at all, which is awesome. And we have defeated the first Mimic. Ooh, and we were given tons of items as well, such as Respite and Dirt, which is going to be used for our Power Hungry. And we need 3 Power Hungries before the first boss. So right now we are on track to have 3 of them.
Soil, we just got a name donation.
Oh, we got a name donation, huh?
We did. So, Happy Bear donated $5 and said, donating for the name Happy Bear and Outbound Ghost.
I love that. That's amazing.
Thank you, Happy Bear, so much. You're so amazing and beautiful.
If I pass the mirror in the run, I will stop and I will change the name to Happy Bear. But sadly, we have passed the fight and the mirror for the final time that I'm aware of. But we will see.
No worries. Whatever you can do is totally cool with me.
Alright, so we've passed the second mimic, and we are now moving into the last mimic of the dungeon. We'll collect the last key, and then we'll go fight the boss. So far, we have gotten all the items that we have needed, such as, like I said, respites, dirts, our delusional keys, and smoke bombs. So it has been an absolute great RNG fest for me right now. We're going to bypass the mage. I'm going to walk out this door, and I'm going to hug this wall to bypass the turtle. And then the hardest room in the dungeon to get through, because there's a bat in here. So bats move at about 3 times your speed. So if you're not careful, they will always catch you. Alright, we got all those lit. I'm going to try to head up these stairs. Alright, I got it. So there's a sound cue I'm looking for when I enter this fight. I mash A as fast as I can, and I'm waiting to hear if I open the chest before the fight starts. So I can save myself a couple seconds without having to open the chest after I'm done. Alright, this bat is a nuisance. But we got through him. We're okay. We did not get into a fight. So depending on how many locks there are, is it how many lockpicks you need? What's cool is the game gives you 3 lockpicks at the beginning, and then we pick up 2 in this dungeon, giving us just enough to do every lockpick we need in the entire run. It just somehow ended up working out like that, and it's an absolute blessing. Alright, this is a much easier fight now that we have our levels. Alright, so the Mimic did really nothing. We stunned him pretty quick, and he was not able to do a single attack. Oh, actually 1 attack. Alright, we have collected all keys, and we are heading into the boss fight now. But before I do that, I'm going to stop here. I kept saying Power Hungry. I meant to say Unspooky Gauge. I keep getting those both confused. They both do the same thing, but one does for your skills while one does for your actual melee attacks. So I needed 3 Unspooky Gauges, and we got them, so we are all good. Alright, so this is the first boss fight. Once again, the tactic is just to Aether up as much as possible, but because we hit the level that we're at, I can actually use a skill called Limit Break, which gives Regret 3 attacks instead of 2. But because I used Aether, there should actually be 4 attacks attached to this now. So 1, 2, 3... Actually, we only got 3. But we end up defeating Callousness really quick, which is really good for the boss fight.
Soil, do you have any good puns about this boss? Surely you do.
Oh my goodness, I have actually never thought of a single pun for this. That's perfect. I will need to tell the community about that one.
Sure.
No one's actually ever said that. That's amazing.
Surely you just.
Surely you just. Funny, my name is Justice, so that also works.
Oh, wow, we're just so in sync right now, Soil. This is beautiful.
Hey, it just is what it is. Aha, there's my pun for my name. There we go. I got it out there.
Perfect.
So we have defeated the first boss, and we are now leaving the Cave of Delusions. After we leave the Cave of Delusions, we'll be heading into the Autumn area, which is where the game starts becoming very, very broken very quick. So this game runs off of a intricate trigger system. If you watch the new speedruns for Hogwarts Legacy, you'll understand what it means by the trigger system, as it's impossible to break these games. So this game also runs off a similar system like that, where it runs off of a number-based trigger. So let's say we hit a trigger and inside the code it wants 126. But let's say we skip the trigger, and now it's at 125. they will not work, and the game will soft lock you in the area. So there is absolutely no way of skipping any important triggers in this game whatsoever, and Conrad made sure that was a thing. But that doesn't mean we can't break the game to get to the triggers faster, which is what's about to happen in the next area. We are going to get to the autumn area, we're going to drop down and go out of bounds and break the whole area without doing a single thing, which is really nice. There's also another game I can think of that kind of runs off. It's one of the Pokemon games that just recently came out that runs off a similar flag system. It's a bane to speedrunners' existence, but it won't stop us. Alright, so here we go. We are now heading into the next area. So, funny enough, if I use the map, for some reason, Frank's animations get swapped with Mary's animations. So, Frank, for some reason, does the smile, even though he never smiles once in the game, if you do it correctly. But yeah, both of them switch animations for that split second. Alright, there's Michael again. He's back. Let's see what he's up to. Well, nothing now, because we're just gonna skip past him. So normally, he would talk about the gate. He's trying to set us up, but we don't need to go through the gate, as we're gonna collect this key. I'm gonna walk over to this rock, and I'm gonna do some magic ghost floating powers, if I can get it off. Come on, come on. There we go. And now we're gonna fall all the way down, and we're out of bounds. Now the next question is how do you get back up if you fall all the way down? Well, in this game, all walls that are out of bounds are considered ground. I don't know why. So when you touch the wall, you become a mountain climber, and you can just go right back up the wall and go back in bounds. So we're gonna walk over here. We're gonna go up this wall, and I'm just gonna keep dashing while holding against it, and I'm just gonna float all the way to the top.
Excuse me?
Magical ghost powers.
Hello? Physics?
So we're just... So we're just mountain climbing our way all the way up, and then once we get up here, you're soft locked, but because of the triggers that I was talking about earlier, they're able to bring you back in bounds. So I'm gonna pass this tree, and then the cutscene will take me back in bounds. And we just broke the entire level. That saves about 20 minutes of the entire game, just gone. We didn't have the whole autumn level, and we're moving into the end of chapter 1 now.
My lord. That is as broken as I've seen in a long time.
You just drop out and then climb back up. Nothing to it. And it's so simple as all you have to do is hold B and press a direction. There's nothing else to it. So, alright, so we're about to get my favorite Figment, as it's our AoE attacker, and I'm going to trade out our healer for our AoE, as we do not need heals in this run whatsoever. As long as you do it right, you should be fine. We're going to bypass the mushroom, make our way up these stairs, and we're going to head into our second boss soon, which are 2 cactus plants that used to be really hard because they have this poison attack that every time you attack them, you take damage. So they damage you, and then you attack them, but then you take damage as well. So it was able to destroy your Figments fairly quickly. But then the Aether thing became a reality, where now we just Aether up, and we are able to abuse their their stun boxes, so we can stun them and finish the fight without having to deal with both of them. Alright, so let's get past him, since he wanted to get into a fight. Alright, last enemy I need to pass, and then we... Oh, looks like I did not pass him. So that was the last enemy that I passed until I get to the boss. And it's right around this corner. So Conrad actually saw that we were able to skip this boss, but because the skip was so easy to the point where even a casual player would have found it, he patched it out. So what you would have done was use that diamond, go up to the top of the platform, and just ramp over the fence and skip the boss. But yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Oh, perfect RNG, awesome. So we don't want him to poison Regret, and he did not. So it looks like we are going to be able to go through this fight with absolutely no issues whatsoever.
So, continuing the theme of mushrooms during block of Corathon, and mushrooms that are not well liked by speedrunners, apparently. At least I don't like them. They look mean.
we beat them up quite a bit, don't we?
We did.
Even though they're supposed to be like such a great like fungal for our planet, and they're so like great for our ecosystem, but in video games we make them a bad guy and we beat them up.
True.
I don't know.
That is very, very true.
There is another game I speedrun called Flynn Son of Crimson, and how you get your powers is by eating mushrooms.
Oh really? So it's like Mario.
Yeah, you get a flame ability, an ice ability, and an electric ability by eating a fire, ice, or electric mushroom.
Alright, I can get behind that.
It's one of the only games that they don't make the mushrooms a villain, so...
Chat, if you can find me a mushroom that will give me electric powers, then I will give you $50. And that's a lot. You can buy 5 burgers for that.
I would like the ice abilities, please. I want to go skating around any lake I see in front of me. Since I have a fear of water, anything that gets me away from it, I would love that.
Good point. I also have a touch of thalassophobia myself. I mean, who knows what creepy crawlies could be lurking in that water?
100%. Especially at nighttime when you're at the ocean. That is such an ominous feeling when the water is just not see-through anymore.
Indeed. Indeed.
So, we have made our way halfway through the swamp and moving into the final part of Chapter 1 where I need to do one more battle with this guy that we're going to see right on top of this cliff. Once I defeat him, Chapter 1 is over and we will be leaving the main character behind for a new main character. Every chapter focuses on a new ghost. So we'll be leaving Lee, is this ghost's actual name. Lee suffers from amnesia and later finds out that his name is Lee. And we will leave Lee behind and we will take over Mary and we'll play as the pink ghost after this. Which, I actually like Mary's section a lot. It's very diverse with the environments. Also to point out, if you see that my ghost is acting weird during cutscenes and is like moving at a side like angle and is like lagging, it's because I have this on uncapped frames, so my game is running at about 300 frames right now, which the game just doesn't really correspond with really well, but it makes some of the tricks easier for a marathon setting. So yeah, you'll see just in a moment that Lee will start walking, like she's talking to somebody, but Lee's not there. And now you'll see Lee in a second, and he's, yeah, stuck in a weird animation for a moment.
Whenever something wild or super, I'm just gonna be like, surely.
Surely that's a thing.
When I'm skeptical, I'll just be like, surely. Got him.
Got him. I did not play this game on 60 FPS for the longest time. I never capped my frame rate through the settings until just recently and found out that it fixes so many of the animation problems. But it makes some of the skips a tad bit harder. So I just uncapped it for the marathon. So we can get the skips done a little bit easier. Alright, I have made my way through the swamp and I'm getting my next ability called the Feather. The Feather allows me to use these circles on the ground so I can teleport to other areas. It's a really nice ability. Sadly, it's not utilized a lot in the game. Well, I guess with our route, it's not utilized. It's used inside the snow area quite a bit and in the area after this, but we'll just be climbing walls, so it won't matter to us. I love Lori's haircut. The bangs work on Lori.
I am, as a fellow bangs enjoyer, I'm bangs right now.
Oh, well then, Lori's name needs to be changed to Happy Bear.
Done. I would support that. Can you change the name of every character in the game?
To Happy Bear? Yes. Oh, what an amazing RNG factor. So the bat actually turned around and didn't go back the same way. So that saved us having to pause like 6 times to escape that bat.
Blessed bat. Blessed bat.
While I'm being chased by another bat. Okay, we got through it. Didn't get into a fight. Oh, how lucky. That is so lucky. Alright, this is the final fight of Chapter 1. So, the 2 enemies that are going to be on the left and right side are going to have an aura around them. What that aura means is if I attack them, I will take recoil damage. So I'm going to avoid attacking the enemies on left and right, and I'm going to focus on the healer in the middle at first. But you know the deal. It's time to Aether up.
Now,
Alright, so with Callus... Oh, sorry,
no, go ahead, Soil. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, with Callus, I'm just going to give Regret an extra move, because with 3 swift hits, it should be able to stun the healer and allow me to get 1 more attack on another enemy.
Those are some powerful attacks.
This ended up working out really well.
It did. That's awesome. What I was going to say is, you did not tell me that you're the world record holder for this game.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am the current world record holder for any percent. I think right now the world record on the form says 134, but while practicing for this marathon, I dropped it down to a 132.
Let's go. That's so exciting.
So a 2-minute time save on the world record due to some strats that I figured out towards the end of the game. It was a lot of fun. I've actually been the world record holder for almost since the game came out. I don't know what it was, this game just took me by storm and I just needed to press the time down. And it went from over a 2-hour run to an hour and a half now, and I want to break the hour and a half so bad. I want a 129. I know it's possible.
You know, anything is possible. We thought for a game that IA speedrun that the time limit was around 32 minutes. I just found out that time has been lowered to 25:45 as of this morning. So,
oh my goodness, what new skips were found? Do you know?
Yeah. So it's for a game called Lumberjack, and it's a cute little indie game about a bear, surprisingly. And basically we found some radical new menuing techniques that allowed us to shave minutes off the any percent time. And there's also been some new routing and a couple new skips found. So, yeah. That's
exciting.
It is. It's super exciting. Anything is possible. So I would not hesitate to believe that sub 130 is possible with this game.
With the trigger system, it is making it a little bit harder, but I'm not giving up hope at all. I'm not giving up hope. But I'm so glad to hear that Lumberjack now has a breath of fresh air in the community, some new skips, some new areas to run. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's been really cool. For a long time, it was just me. I routed it originally and created the speedrun, and then we had 2 new fireball speedrunners come in and just blow it wide open, and it's been so exciting to see.
Especially being like the what do you want to call it? The progenitor of the run. That is really cool to see.
Exactly. I am the mother of Lumberjack speedrunning, and it's been so neat to see. And this is why it's so fun to have additional speedrunners in a community, because when there's just like 1 or 2 people, then sometimes you just don't think things through, you miss things. But when you get that new blood in there, then it's so exciting to see the new ideas that they bring to it. It's beautiful.
I hope everybody's like speedrun eventually just gets that glory where a new skip is found, new life is formed, and more people just want to join in. That's what makes speedrunning so fun.
It really is.
So to explain what just happened, as you saw, I just fought the main character, but the main character was in the swamps during this area. That kind of gives a hint on maybe the main character really isn't who the main character is. Why does Adrian and the main character look so much alike? Why do they both experience headaches at the same time? These are questions that we'll need to find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. But we'll find out at the end of the run on what's actually going on. But there is a twist between Adrian and Lee.
That's exciting.
Oh. So this skip right here was found right before the whole incident with Outbound Ghost happened. Conrad was actually going to purge this skip from the run because it's so easy to find. And because of the whole legal thing, it stayed in the run and is still used to this day in the run. And it saves so much time. I'm glad that it was able to stay.
Amazing. I'm so glad. That is...
Due to some unfortunate circumstances, good things have happened.
Beautiful.
Alright, we are now in the Outbound Center. This area is going to have a quick fight where I need to help an old lady ghost clear out her garden of some figments. And then me and Linda will be heading into the snow area. I actually like the soundtrack to this area. I don't know why. I just like the beat that happens with it. It gets stuck in my head throughout my runs. Such a groove. So in this fight that I'm about to do, it is actually a very, very simple fight due to our AoE attacker. If I just skip all of my other Figment's turns and just use my AoE, they should be able to be defeated in about 2 turns. Depending on the damage done, but most of the time it's pretty consistent. Alright, Aether up. Oh! And the RNG is against me! Oh, that's so bad. So what just happened is my AoE attacker just got frozen, which means that I had to skip that turn, so I wasn't able to do anything. So that's okay. I'm back. Only costing a few seconds. But there is an RNG factor where those enemies can freeze that one particular Figment. It usually never happens, but apparently that time it did. There's also a part in the ending of the game where it's going to be RNG on if you win or not. Because there's an ability that blinds your Figments, and it causes your attack bar to move at like 10 times its speed. So it's almost impossible to get a perfect time. And we're going to be praying to RNGesus to get past that area. So right here, I'm going to teleport back to Central Outbound. I'm going to wiggle my character to the left and right, and I'm going to squeeze through this wall, which allows me to transition into the next area. And with that, I am moving into the snow parts.
I just want to remind everyone that praying to RNGesus on Easter gets you plus 25% better RNG.
That's amazing that it is Easter. I forgot about that. It is Easter. Yes.
Happy Easter.
Maybe RNGesus will be on my side. Thank you so much. Happy Easter to you too. And happy Easter to everybody watching. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting Corathon. We appreciate it.
Exactly. And just remember, everyone, if you're mindful of the teachings of Jesus, then trying to get one of our sisters to a better place where she will be able to be herself and not have to worry about persecution is the most Christian thing that you could do today. So definitely get those donations in, because we want to help our friend Cora make it to her new home. And if you'd like to do that, type !donate in chat. Or you can donate directly to Cora's Venmo as an alternate option. You can also find a link to do that by typing !donate. And Zoil, is now a good time to talk about a couple upcoming incentives that we have.
Yeah, actually, this is the perfect time.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, again, we are just so in sync today. It's beautiful when a host and runner are so connected. Okay, everyone, so we have later on in the day, a Stardew Valley 4-player glitchless seeded community center restoration run by some amazing runners. Okania, the Valiant Son, Terptor, Sons of Mothers. These are amazing Stardew friends, and that is going to be an amazing run. We have an adopt a pet incentive at $50, so if we end up raising $50 for that incentive, the runners will adopt a pet and take care of it. Now, along with that, we also have a pet bid war between cat and dog. So if you want to see a pet adopted, and also if you want it to be a cat or a dog, get those donos in. It's all for Cora people. It's all for one of our sisters on this Easter day.
Awesome. That is so awesome. I really hope all those incentives get met. The more games, the better. The more donations, the better. Love that. Alright, so we have bypassed the snow area very quickly. I did a couple tricks that were a little bit before that. So there was a key I picked up in Chapter 1 before I went out of bounds in the autumn area that you can use on any trail gate. So we pick it up in Chapter 1, but we don't use it, and it transfers over with us to Chapter 2, so we can actually use it on a door that it was never meant to be used on, saving us a ton of time skipping out an entire area. Also, in the snow part, you probably saw me climb up an invisible wall and then drop down. That is the riskiest trick in the entire game, because if you move forward by just a tad too much, you have to restart the entire run all the way back from the beginning. All the way back. We would lose 40 minutes of time almost. Not even joking. That's how dangerous that trick is.
Oh my goodness.
It sends you all the way back to the very beginning of the game. So, you cannot even make a single mistake on movement in that part. The reason why it sends you back is it hard locks your character, and the only time we have ever saved is at the bonfire at the beginning. So since it hard locks you, you have to restart your save, which sends you all the way back to the first bonfire.
That is incredibly dangerous, my goodness.
Yes, but I have perfected the trick. That's why I do it in marathon settings. I have not failed it. I can't remember the last time I failed it. It has been months. I try to do it slow in marathons where I inch my way towards the edge of the tree. But so far, we had no mistakes, so that's good. If that would have happened, I probably would have looked at my camera and you would have saw a tear fall down my eye.
Well, we can't have a crying speedrunner. That would be very sad.
Well, so that flower I didn't get is now gonna bite me in the butt.
Uh-oh, I hate getting bitten by a flower on my butt.
So, there's a move that I was just trying to pick up called Fast Burn. Now, Fast Burn has a really large negative effect on whoever you equip it on, but it also has a huge risk/reward benefit as well. So, AP is this game's versions of moves, or turns that you have during your attack phase. So, if you have 2 AP, you can attack twice during an attack phase. Well, Fast Burn gives your character 4 AP, but once you blow through your first attack phase, you're now stuck at 1 AP with that character, no matter what you do. But having 4 attacks at the beginning of a fight allows you to stun any enemy in this game. And as we've learned, stunning an enemy does 2 times damage to their health. So being able to stun an enemy really quickly makes fights go by super fast and is a very safe strat altogether. It's not over though, as in like, I didn't get the flower, but inside that area they're pointing out right there, inside that door, there's another flower in there, so I can pick up Fast Burn. I just have to do 1 fight without it, so it's going to be kind of a time loss. Unfortunate, but that's what happens.
That's too bad. We can't win them all though, and that's still a very good round.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Also, welcome to the Lady Arcader Raiders. That rhymes. I'm so good at rhyming. But yes, welcome Raiders. We're glad you're here. And we've got some cool donation incentives to donate to.
Ooh, thank you Raiders. Thank you for being here. Once again, thank you viewers for being here. We all appreciate you. Alright, here comes an ambush fight. Linda's going to ambush us and we have to fight her. This is where I wish I had fast burn, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Oh, actually, that was really good. Did not use regeneration, which is what we want to see. Really lucky on the attacks the enemies are doing. Okay, this actually might have worked out a lot better than I expected it to. Yeah, this actually worked out really well. Okay. Even without fast burn, I got a double stun off, so that fight went pretty much how it should have gone. No deaths, no major time losses. Alright, Linda's fight's over. We're gonna move up into this building, and I'm gonna grab the flower, as it is still needed for the final fight of the game, as we will be severely underleveled to fight the boss, but there is a strat on how to take care of it. Alright, this is our last flower, and now we are going to leave Ravenside and move on to the final part of Chapter 2. Oh, where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. Look at me. Getting ahead of myself. Also, with the dialogues, as you can see, it's going by really quick. So, that was another thing that wasn't implemented when the game first came out. You actually had to mash the dialogue, which was just so broken on your fingers by the end of the run. And Conrad also stated that was probably really bad for the runner's hands, so implemented a patch that gave us quick dialogue by just holding down a button. The man was looking out for our hands, and I appreciate that. As someone who has RA, my hands are already messed up, so it is nice to know that there's people who will patch games for me to run. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's extremely thoughtful. Honestly, I love it when game developers cater to speedrunners and to other different groups who want to experience the game in a certain way. That's really cool.
Yeah, his goal was to make sure that this game was as accessible as possible. As stated before the run started, there's accessibility options to increase your damage to 500%, to increase the damage taken by 0%. You can turn off enemies. There's just so many different options for anybody of all sorts of handicaps to just normal casual players who may not just be the best at video games. So anybody out there is able to play this game with no issues. And I think that's commendable. Alright, here comes Waterfall Skip. So I hug that cactus, jump into the water, and what this does is I can skip this area by hugging these walls and popping back into bounds right here and hitting the cutscene. Skipping that entire waterfall section by just skipping into the water. Thank you, cactus. We appreciate you. Now the thing is though, is if you do the waterfall skip, but you don't go back into bounds, and you continue going along the wall, and you hit this cutscene, it's another one of those glitches that will send you all the way back to the beginning of the game, because Mary will be stuck floating in the air, and when she's floating in the air during a cutscene, when the game gives you back control of her, she's still floating in the air, and her movements are locked, and there's no way to get her to move. So you have to restart your save, and as stated, that's all the way back at the first bonfire. So we just try to prevent touching any triggers while we're out of bounds. Unless it's a trigger that doesn't have us floating in the air. Alright, we are moving into the desert. This is the final part of Chapter 2. The desert ends with Mary and Michael ascending to the afterlife. And after that, we will take over Linda and the main character again. But is the shortest chapter in the entire game. Chapter 3 maybe takes like 7 minutes. And then Chapter 4 will be the final chapter, where we will take over Adrian, who is the antagonist of the game, and we will get to see the game through the bad guy's eyes. I honestly think it's really creative that he made a game that had different perspectives throughout the story with all the characters, giving them all their time to shine. Also in this area, there is maps that I could pick up and teleport with. But for some reason, during Chapter 3, they disable your maps, so you can't teleport. But if you could, it would be a massive time save. But I think it's because there's a lot of triggers you have to hit during Chapter 3. That's why they turned off the map, so you can't skip the triggers and soft lock your game. I think it was more like a safety measure than anything. Passing up the hyenas, they got stuck on the tombstones, so no issues there. Oh, nice. We're only 47 minutes in, and we're at the end of Desert. We're on, I wouldn't say, like, amazing pace, but for a marathon, I feel really good about this. So in this area, I'm going to hug another cactus so I can skip over a wall. There is a boss that is on the other side of a fence that we need to get across. We used to fight this boss until a community member found out that this cactus right here allows you to climb up it so you can go out of bounds and walk around the fence, skipping the entire boss fight, saving even more time in the entire run. Now the thing about this is it worked out so perfectly that this skip lets you go over this fence and then allows you to hug this wall to hop back into bounds. It all came together to just somehow work out that way. Without that, like, that fence being able to be climbed over, it would have stopped right there and we would have had to fight the boss. But once again, speedrunners prevail. And we are now at the very end of Chapter 2. I need to hit one more trigger, and then Mary and Michael will ascend into the afterlife. Alright, here we go. End of Chapter 2. I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick.
Always a good thing.
Also, if you have anything to say during Chapter 3, you are more than welcome to, as this is the fastest yet nothing going on chapter in the entire game.
Well, I love nothing going on.
As in, like, there's no skips in this one section. We tried to find them, but due to the chapter being kind of like a linear path, all the skips we found were more of a time waste than just actually doing the chapter itself. So we're gonna just kind of bypass enemies as usual, no skips, no bosses, no nothing, and we're gonna try to make our way back to Central Outbound so we can go to the train station that we haven't seen yet, so we can have our first fight with the main antagonist of the game, which is a really quick fight. Once again, we are on easy, but it is a quick fight because we will have fast burn by that time, so we'll be able to do 4 attacks in one go.
Excellent. Well, I like to hear those words, nothing going on, because it lets me talk about Corathon. Are you good if we talk about Corathon for a little bit?
You are more than welcome to. Like I said, there's nothing going on in this chapter.
I love it. Well, for those who just came in, and for those who may have stumbled in here from other places, Corathon is a mutual aid fundraiser raising money for our friend Cora. She's a friend of our community who is looking to move to a place who will accept her for who she is. Due to the anti-trans legislation in the state of Texas, Cora needs help with moving expenses so that she can safely move to a state with LGBTQ+ friendly laws and communities. We are here putting on this marathon to support and provide for a trans friend in need, and we are so grateful for any donations that you can provide as help. Type !donate in chat to donate. Also want to remind everyone of our amazing Stardew Valley run coming up, and we have a couple of incentives for that. Number 1, if you would like the runners to adopt a pet, we need $50, and then they will adopt that pet. Now, do you want that pet to be a cat or a dog? If you want cat, you can donate for it. If you want dog, you can donate for it. We have a pet bid war on our hands, people. And whichever side gets the most donations, that is the pet that our Stardew speedrunners will adopt. So definitely donate for that. I am extremely tempted to donate for dog, to be honest, because I'm a dog person. And if you think I'm wrong, you know what to do.
I'm a cat guy.
Well, you know
I'm a
what to
total
do,
cat guy.
Soil.
Vote for that cat. I have a huge Maine Coon kitty somewhere around here.
Oh, that sounds adorable. Maine Coons are beautiful.
He is, he's my little sassy boy. I love him to death. But he has an attitude, I'll tell you.
I've noticed that many cats do have attitudes.
I think I spoiled him too much when he was a kitten. I think that was my issue. He was just so adorable, I couldn't help but spoil him. But I will agree, if I could have a dog, I would, because as a runner, dogs are amazing for running, so they do win in that aspect. Alright, we have made it through Chapter 3. That was it. I gotta touch the train station and then fight Adrian, and that was all. It was just one quick straight line to Central Outbound.
Wow, that really was a short chapter. My goodness.
Yeah, it's very, very short. I honestly don't know why it was implemented as a chapter, and it could have just been like part of Chapter 4, but it is what it is. So right here, Adrian is going to come around the corner and spot us, and then he's going to confront us, and we will have to fight him. Once we defeat Adrian, the game is going to take on his perspective, and we'll be going through his memories. Okay, I mean, you could have used it on different figments, but I guess that's okay. Meanie. Ugh, not having fast burn at this point. Also, you'll notice that he heals my figments. So, as the game starts kind of getting a little convoluted towards the end, it'd be hard to explain. It's kind of hinted at that Adrian Ackerman and Lee are the same person, just experiencing multi-personality disorder. And this is his way of coping with the guilt that he killed everybody in the town. That he tries to portray himself as a good guy, but he's not. He's not a good guy.
Oh my god. This is dark.
Yes, so we are now going to go through Ackerman's memories, and at the very end of finishing all of his memories, there is a cutscene that is played that I will, if we have enough time, depending on how fast we finish this, I'll let the cutscene play, and you can see Adrian Ackerman actually talk for the first time through voice acting and admit that he is the killer. But it's a cool cutscene that they have. So this is the hardest fight in the entire game. Hands down, harder than the boss, harder than everything. This is the meat and cheese. I hate this fight because you are so underleveled and they hit you so hard. It's pretty disastrous if you mess up. Alright, so we have Fast Burn. So I'm going to equip Fast Burn. I'm going to go to Solitude and equip Unspooky Gauge to give Solitude a little bit more attack damage as we move in to fight the enemies that have RNGesus on their side most of the time. They have an attack called Blind. If you are blinded, your figments can still attack, but the bar that you need to use to time your attacks will be moving at sporadic speeds, almost 10 times faster than it normally moves. And it'll be wiggling like this, and you have to time it just right to get your attack off. And Blind lasts for up to 3 turns. It is a run killer if you're going for a world record. And you're an hour into the run and experiencing a run killing thing. Kind of heartbreaking, but it can happen. Now, the thing is, though, if I end up perishing to it, the run's not over at all, as you can retry battles as many times as you want, and we are on such good pace that I have plenty of time to retry. And just to make sure nothing happens, I'm gonna save. There we go. Look at that. We have saved. So if anything happens, I'll start right back here. Alright, here it goes. Oh, man. Okay, good. Just did the buff on the healer for some reason. No blind. No blind. Okay. Okay, so... they decided to use an attack that I can't get around, so we're gonna restart the fight. Okay, awesome! It didn't happen this time. Okay, we are all good. So that aura that was put on the healer, if you attack the healer, it's instant death. Now, we need the healer to be gone because even if we destroy an enemy, the healer can resurrect them, and we don't want that.
You know, there's a ton of stuff that is really kind of run killers in this run, I'm noticing. Just like instant run destroyed.
Yeah, instant run. Like if there's an ability that hits you that you just can't compensate with, or you get blinded, or you get attack debuffed in the last fight, like during the last final fight, it's automatically you have to give up and restart the battle. Because you're so underleveled, you can't risk taking any kind of damage loss, or taking too much damage from one certain source. And like I said, blinding is just an awful ability. Alright, so we are done with this fight, and we're moving on to the next fight, which is in the same area. This is a gauntlet of fights that I have to get through, and they're all just incredibly hard. This one right here has an enemy, it's the same enemy, the same person that I use for AoEs, they have on their team, and can blind all of your figments in one turn. So we need to hope that the blind is not used. Okay, oh my goodness, we escaped the blind. Okay, we are good.
Thank goodness.
So now I just need to limit break. Alright. No blind, no blind. Alright, we got blinded. So that doesn't help us. Let's try this again. That blind is so bad. Okay. Shelter, perfect. No blind. No blind. No blind! Okay, we're good. We're good. Regret is going to stun this enemy in one go. So we have no chance of ever being blinded again. Oh! That's okay. That's okay. That was an oof moment. Perfect. Okay. We should have no issues getting through this fight now. Okay. One last fight in the gauntlet, which is actually the easiest fight of all three, but there is a caveat to that, as Jealousy could use regeneration, which extends this fight out by so long, because Jealousy's health will just keep coming back over and over and over again. So these three fights are just straight RNG. Alright, no regeneration. defend. No regeneration. No regeneration. Nice. Okay, that's the issue. So, Jealousy has this thing called Pickpocket, where Jealousy can steal any buff that is on their teammate, and the snow cone or the ice cream cone that you see just use the ability Regenerate. So I need to make sure that I take this snow cone out before Jealousy has a chance to steal regeneration. Okay, we're good. Oh, so focused. Alright, we're good. Fight's over. Okay, we made it through the 3 hardest fights in the run. I did have some trouble with RNG, as I did get blinded in one of the fights, and took an unfortunate death on one of my teammates because of the aura, insta-kill aura. But we're through. And now we're heading on to the last 9 memories, and then the final boss fight. So Adrian's chapter is the longest chapter in the game, and the reason why that is you have to play through the entire game one more time as Adrian. But backwards. It's so weird how he did that. But you play through the game, then you take over Adrian, and you go through Adrian's memories in reverse, and you go through some new areas as well, but you are traveling through some of the areas that you visited just through his perspective. So like right here, it says Outbound Station at the bottom. When I enter in here, this is the cutscene that happened before going into Chapter 4, where you'll see the 2 main characters, Linda and Lee, and then Adrian coming to the train station and seeing them. And this is where we moved into Chapter 4. It'll all start to connect. Now, as you saw, Lee looked really weird, and Lee didn't look like his normal self, and looked all, I don't know, demonic, I guess is how this game was trying to portray it. But Adrian sees Mary and Lee as his demons, because he uses their personalities as a way to make himself perceived as a much better person. And the only person that we have on our side that has followed us all the way through and has been on our side the whole time is this man right behind us. He has been our only friend and has been trying to help us, even though we have, you know, murdered him and the entire village. Cool thing about this area is if you look at the tombstones, which I'll stop for a second, these are all the backers to the game.
Oh wow, that's such a fun-ish little Easter egg.
Yep.
That's
so
cute.
each one of them have moved on to the afterlife while we're stuck in the Outbound. So the backers have moved on to the true heaven while we are stuck here. I think it was a neat addition to it.
Yeah, that's fun. That's really fun.
Also, if you look at some of the backers, you'll see names like Creech and Nick and stuff like that. And if you randomize your name, you'll notice that you can actually get the backers' names as the character name as well. So there's 2 ways to see backers' names. You can randomly generate them as a name for the character, or you can go to the graveyard and find them on the tombstones. Alright, so Adrian's area right here, I am just trying to make my way through the swamps so I can, as I work my way back. Our goal is to get back to Adrian's house at the beginning of the game so we can confront our demons, and we have to fight Lee and Mary in a final battle. Now, the final battle works in a weird way because there's only, you have 4 figments, there's only 2 enemies, but they have this ability that allows them to instantly kill you if you touch them. So you have to come up with a strategy on how to defeat them without touching a certain one of them at a certain time. There is a theory in the works right now that you can probably end the last fight in probably 2 seconds, but we haven't been able to implement it yet. So Jealousy has a move called Pickpocket, and it allows you to take any buff off anybody in the fight. Doesn't matter if it's a boss, it doesn't matter anything. If they have a buff on them, you can steal it. So that ability that instant kills you is an actual buff that Jealousy can take. So our theory is if you can take Jealousy and take the buff away from them and have them hit Jealousy, the bosses will instantly die and you can just move on. It's a theory, but the game does state that anything that a boss can do to you, you can do to it. It was stated before you skip the vampire boss fight, if you go up against it, a pop-up appears says that any ability that they can use, you can use on them. Any effect that they can use on you, you can use on them. So I'm assuming that it'll work if we can steal the ability. And that would be so broken. It would be so broken. I would love to try it, but I'm too scared to try it in a marathon. That would be the worst.
Understandable. Marathons often aren't the place to debut new stats or to try things that you aren't confident with, so no one is judging.
Exactly. Even though, like, my brain, before I started this, I was like, it'd be very interesting to see if it works and to see if I could pull it off in a marathon. But then I'd be locked into the fight with jealousy, and I wouldn't have solitude anymore. So that would probably gotta be an issue. So see, even Happy agreed. Happy just said, that was my first thought when I saw that text pop up in my casual. And that's what we've all, like, conspired to believe that it's, like, real and it can work. But no one has ever tried it, and I don't know why. I have no idea why nobody has, like, given the option to be like, hey, instant kill ability, let's just steal that and use it on the boss.
You know, this is the peril of having two chats, or excuse me, when you said that thing about Happy, it was like, excuse you, I am a woman, but then I was like, oh. Soil's talking about Happy by 3.
Well, Happy's I should say they, sorry. I know Happy's pronouns is they. I did not mean to say he. That was my bad. So, Happy, I apologize. I love you.
True. We do love our NBs in this chat. They are amazing, and we support them wholeheartedly. Just like we support Corathon. It's now a good time to talk about Corathon for a moment.
Yes, you're more than fine.
Wonderful. Well, I just want to say thank you to all of the people who have put Corathon together. This event came together really quickly, and it was kind of impromptu, and it would not have been possible without all the volunteers, runners, and most importantly, you, the viewers and donors. We appreciate any and all support that you can give our friend Cora in her time of need so that we can help someone move to a place that will respect and protect marginalized communities. So if you want to see the awesome runs that we have coming up, type !schedule in chat, and you can also type incentives in chat, !incentives, to see our open incentives that you can make happen with your donations.
I have to give you credit, that cutaway was supreme. What a smooth cutaway. Awesome.
You know, Smooth Cutaway was my nickname in high school.
I wasn't expecting you to just go, like, oh, it almost felt like one of those, like, YouTube ad reads. It was perfect. I loved it.
Well, my head is getting so big now. I'm blushing, I'm sweating, I don't even know what to say. I'm fibbing a little bit. I'm not blushing or sweating, but
you got me blushing.
Thank you, Soil. That's extremely nice of you. I'm trying to get better at that host voice so that someday GDQ will admit me to their host ranks.
You are doing phenomenal.
Bless you, my friend. Well, this has been such a fun run to host for. I am so impressed by this game and by your speedrunning skills. Thank you. Yeah, this has been really fun to watch. Happy by 3 was correct. This is a very fun run. They were telling me about it earlier, and they have been proven correct. I'm enjoying it so much.
I'm curious, Happy, do you know, has it been, what, almost 2 years now that I've known you? It's so crazy to see how far you have come in the speedrunning community. It is insane. Congratulations, Happy. Well, Happy by 3. It's absolutely crazy.
I was like, I've known you for about 2 hours.
No, I've known Happy by 3. I think almost 2. I think it's moving on to at least 2 years soon. So.
Really? That's so cool. How did you both meet?
Through a mutual server on Discord.
Wow. Those mutual Discord server meetups. I love it. I've made so many friends on different Discords like Frame Fatales, Lady Arcaders, No Glitches Allowed, all these fun little speedrunning communities and events. It's been really neat.
And I think Osmorn as well. I think I'm moving on to about 2 years as well of knowing about Osmorn, or at least being within the presence of Osmorn. We've done mini marathons together.
You know, instead of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, I think we need to play. Although it might not be that fun because I'm pretty sure that everyone won for Osmorn, because Osmorn knows every single speedrunner in the entire world. I'm convinced.
Osmorn is what I tell people to aspire to be when you're talking about a speedrunner. Someone who always puts themselves out there for the community, someone who always is such an upstanding person, always puts like their time and effort into the community they're a part of. So I don't even run Subliminal at all, and Osmorn took his time out of the day to go to all of these people to bring them in, to go over 100 different views on if pausing should be viable in the run, just so. I mean, it's just amazing the time put in just for such a simple matter of pausing in a run. It just goes to show the dedication some people have for speedrunning, and Osmorn is like the precipice of like that. I think it's awesome.
Osmorn is the precipice.
Superliminal. Sorry, superliminal. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you.
No, subliminal is how Osmorn friendly works his way into your consciousness. And so all of a sudden you're super good friends with Osmorn and you're like, how did this happen?
Thanks to Osmorn, actually, my Discord that I run for speedrun bounties actually now has a tool developer, all thanks to Osmorn, that I have actually hired somebody on to make our speedrunning tools.
Let's go, that's awesome.
So, without Osmorn, the Discord that I run would be nowhere near what it is now, and so I owe him a lot.
Now, back up a moment. You run a Discord for speedrun bounties, so do you put different bounties on Vex or something like that?
So we actually have a one going on right now for a game called Paradox Vector for $300 for the first prize winner, 100 for second, and 50 for third place. We also have mini bounties that go on. We have one right now going on for a game called Lycanthorn 2 Reign of Beasts for $50 for first place, 25 for second, and we also do challenge runs called Grudge Matches. There's a bunch of stuff we do in the Discord.
That sounds really fun. Well, hopefully you will drop that link in.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I wasn't going to because I wasn't sure if it was like a self-promote type thing, and I didn't want to do that, but I appreciate that.
You know, honestly, I'll be asking you where we can find you at the end of the run. So,
awesome.
It's not self-promo if you're invited to by the host.
That's awesome. But yeah, I got the inspiration from GDQ Hotfix Grudge Matches. I'm not sure if you know what that is.
I do know what that is.
I took that idea and made up my own thing called Rival Runners off of that concept. And then Charlie, aka Moist Critical, was hosting those $10,000 speedrun bounties, and that inspired me to start doing my own smaller bounties for indie games that don't ever get the light that they deserve. So, shining a light on those indies.
Awesome, that is so cool. Maybe you can do Lumberjack. Find a way to break the game even more, but
honestly, now that I know that it's a game that exists, because I don't know what type of game it is, but now that I know it's there and it has a speedrun community, it can definitely be added to the list.
That would be wonderful. Yeah, it's kind of an adventure game. Basically, you're a bear who doesn't like that an evil corporation is destroying their forest, so they take their axe and blow up the corporation, basically. And there's 20 levels of you just chopping. You can slap sad people to make them find their true selves. And then you can even give them head pats, because humans are cute.
You can give humans head pats? That's adorable. That's so, like, reversed. I love it.
It is precious. Yeah, this gigantic bear just, like, patting little people on the head. It is...
I now want to be in a marathon where one of the incentives is pet the human. I want that so bad.
Well, we do have a pet the humans category for the run, so
Wait, you have to pet all the humans?
you have to pet every single human in the game.
That's so awesome. So that kind of reminds me of another. Like, it wasn't like petting all the humans, but just like doing like really random tasks to do a speed run. I'm pretty sure Sable was in this event, correct? I'm pretty sure Sable Dragon Rock was the first runner. I could be wrong.
Let me look on my handy.
But Sable, in one of the marathons I was in, did a run where they had to experience every death in the game. And I thought that was kind of clever. Instead of just like completing the game, you just had to die as many times as you can in different ways. And I was like, I guess that's one way to add in like the effects of the death mechanics. Instead of making it such a bad thing, it's now a speedrun.
That is.
I hope I was right. I could have swore Sable was on the list. Maybe I was wrong.
I didn't see it on the list, but
one of our dang it. Okay.
One of our admins can correct me because I don't think I was in chat right at the.
It might be. I'm also signed up for a couple other marathons. I do get a lot of the sheets I look at mixed up. There's so much on my plate, so it could have just been another marathon. But it reminded me of Sable's run. Instead of like completing the game, it's just do this random task and then you win. And I love it. I think that's great.
That's wonderful. Yeah, those of us on the speedrun circuit, it's very easy to get mixed up on different events. So no worries.
Okay, so at least people know who Sable is. Thank you. Okay, at least the chat says that they know who Sable is. So I wasn't just talking out of my butt right there. Good deal. Okay, good deal. Mort, best boy. Yes, Mort the lizard, best boy. Oh my goodness. So, Happy Bear, do you know who Sable Dragon Rock is by chance?
I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting Sable, but...
So, they're one of the only runners that I've ever met that keeps their lizard up on a camera, and you can watch their lizard while they do speedruns. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Get out, that is so amazing.
And, like, in one of the marathons I did, they had this thing called Feed Egg, so if you donate $25, they would feed the lizard an egg! Like, what? It was so cool! I was having a blast watching it. It made me donate, like, several times.
Understandable. Who wouldn't want to donate to see a lizard eat an egg? I love that.
Ah, awesome. I'm so glad. Like, it's so cool to see how expansive, just like by this chat, how expansive the speedrunning community has gotten. Like, people from all over the place know about each other. It's just so cool. Love it.
Yeah, we're a tight-knit community here, and that just makes me so happy.
Is that a pun on your name again?
Oh yeah, you know it. I've been very punny this run, so yes, that was totally planned, and I always plan out my puns in advance, because I'm smart like that.
I love it. Well, we are moving into the final half of Chapter 4 now. I am now moving into the snow area, and after that, there's 2 quick memories. One is free, as it's just a cutscene, and then the other one, I just jump over a fence and it's over. So we're pretty much done with Chapter 4. There's only about 10 minutes left. Crazy enough, this is well above estimated time. Like, well above estimated time. I was not expecting to just fly through all of this, but we've been on really good pace. I've been zoned out too talking to you, so I'm not even stressed. So it's nice. I've been smiling like the whole time.
Good. I'm glad. You know, it's just nice to have a buddy to vibe with during a speedrun marathon. Even if you've got all the commentary down, it's just nice to hang out and just kind of vibe. It feels good.
Yes, it does. I actually have never had an active host before.
Well, that makes me sad. Hosts should be active. I mean,
I think. Oh, sorry, my bad.
No,
sorry,
you're fine. I was just gonna say, assuming that the runner wants a very active host, then, sometimes the runner like with our Portal 2 runners that we just had, for instance, it would be very difficult to have a very active host because the run is very fast paced and they're talking a lot. But for a run like this, it's kind of fun just to hang out and vibe a little bit.
Only about 10 minutes left, FYI, plus an outro cutscene. With the pace that we're going, I see that Na just said something in live production. With the pace we're going, we should be done well under estimate. I have Discord up and chat, so I'm trying to make sure I'm paying attention to both of them, just in case there's any issues.
No worries. And I'll let you know if there's some kind of production thing. You just you concentrate on your run. I've got.
Oh no! I just want to make sure. I want to make sure that I was right about the 10 minutes and that they weren't getting someone up there. I'm like, oh, okay. I want to make sure I get this done in 10 minutes. Then I'm nervous.
No, you're just fine. You're well under estimate right now, so you take all the time you need.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Na. All right, so as you can tell, there's no music in this area. Doing the glitch that I did, for some reason, has completely destroyed the music in this area. So all you can hear is the dashing. What I did was I climbed up a rock so I could skip over the bridge, saving about 2 minutes of walking. And then I'm trying to get to Central Outbound. The reason why I'm trying to get to Central Outbound is I'm trying to meet up with my nurse, or the doctor, I guess. That... Not much told about it, but you can kind of tell that is definitely Anton's nurse. And once we're done with that area, we'll be heading into the autumn area, and we'll only have 4 more memories left, and then it's the final boss. Now, the final boss, as I said before, is going to be probably the longest fight in the game, unless I really want to take a risk and try out the jealousy strat, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Even with all the time I have, I would be able to, but I'm not sure if I'll attempt it. If I have over 5 minutes, I will give it one shot and see if it works. So I'm not too underestimate. Alright, this is the end of the memory, and we are now moving into the final parts. Yay! Oh, so glad to be done with the snow levels and Ravenside. Oh, so happy.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Ravenside. It's just such long memories for Adrian of just going back to Ravenside.
Yeah,
because all the other ones are much shorter.
We're cruising through this.
Yeah, we went from 10 memories down to the last 3 memories already. So, we're definitely booking it through these. I'm not trying to waste too much time, as there's not a lot that happens in them, because you are backtracking back to the hut. It's supposed to give you more incline on the story, but I've already gave a rough kind of plot synopsis of the story, that Adrian is a killer with multiple personality disorder, so... But we're about to get to some of my favorite parts, because I love the skips. I don't know what it is. There's an area, I think it's this chapter right here. There's a skip that you can use in chapter 1 that would save you over 30 minutes of your time, but because of the flag system in this game, it doesn't work. But it is a 30-minute time save skip. If somehow you get the flag to work, it would be amazing. It would cut this run down to almost a sub-hour. But the cool thing is we get to use it in chapter 4, so it doesn't go unused. It's just used in a much more minor area than where we wanted to use it. So as I go up these stairs, I need to quickly wrap around like that, and now I'm in the wall. And now I can go out of bounds. And so instead of doing like the mines where I do the first boss, this would actually allow me to skip the mines altogether. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to drop down, climb up this wall, because, you know, mountain climbing magic over here. Go out around this wall, and then go straight into the autumn area. So if this was able to be used in Chapter 1, you could skip the mines and go straight to the autumn area and then head to swamps. Alright, we are now done with this memory. Michael's gonna throw us over the fence. So now you learn that Michael has been on your side this whole time, and that he plotted against Lee and Mary, as he helped Adrian get into the bushes so he could shove Lee into the swamps.
There's more twists and turns in this plot than an Arby's curly.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's your enemy, it seems. Or they're your allies, depending on if you are playing as Lee or if you're playing as Adrian, even though they're technically the same person. Alright, last 2 memories. So, in this last one right here, I need to make it back to the village that I just left. And then after that, I'll be teleported back to my house, and I need to open a book. And it'll ask me if I want to continue. Once you continue, there's no turning back. So you have to make sure that you're 100% ready. So what I'm going to do, because we are well ahead of time, I'm going to go into Figments. I'm going to trade out him for Jealousy. And then... let's see, where's it at? Perfect. Alright, we're going to take a huge risk for the first attempt against the boss. But if it fails, we have plenty of time to just go back to the regular strat. But this might actually end up being a really cool display of a technique that no one has ever tried. So I'm really nervous.
We believe in you, Soil. We're all excited to see this chat. Can I get some hype emotes?
Oh, I didn't get the skip. It's okay. We'll just go around. Oh,
no
well.
worries. No worries. It's alright, but that could be an exciting skip to practice and work on in the future.
So, that skip right there, you climb up a wall, and it just leads you down to the beach without going around. Only saves like a couple seconds, but getting the wall climb on the invisible wall is hard, because if you press slightly off kilter from right, you'll just fall, like I just did, without going over the out of bounds. Alright, we have made it all the way back to the beginning of the game where the first boss was. Funny enough, because we didn't fight the first boss, the trigger is still active for the boss. So we are just going to have to do the same skip as I did earlier, where I will use the fence to go around.
So if that trigger gets hit, then does it just trigger the first boss, or do you get sucked back into the entire game resetting to the first boss?
It triggers the boss. Now the thing about bosses, you can't escape them. So you have to do the fight. Now if I were to hit that trigger and do the fight, I have no chance of winning. So I would die over and over again, and I would just get soft locked in an infinite loop of defeat.
Oh wow, that sounds awful.
But that's why we use the fence skip, and you completely bypass the trigger with no issues. Alright, this is it. This is the end. We are now about to go against the final boss of the entire run. And we're at 1 hour and 30 minutes. If I wouldn't have messed up on a couple of the tricks, we could have maybe broke world record.
Wow.
It was actually a pretty good run, even with some of the mistakes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Adrian's gonna get his headache. We're gonna go outside, and you're gonna see Mary and Michael next to each other, but you're not gonna see Lee. But then Lee's gonna appear out of nowhere, proving he was never existent to begin with. Alright, so we're gonna Aether. Alright, we're gonna Aether. Defend. Alright, I'm so nervous. Skill. Pickpocket.
Chat, send your energy to
our... Oh my god, it worked!
No way!
It worked! Oh my god! I didn't get the buff, but I'm pretty sure I can now put them in an infinite loop where they can no longer attack.
No way.
If this works out, they're now stuck in an infinite loop where they can no longer attack. I don't even know what to say. Like, this is... So yeah, I'll just go Limit Break again. And then with Jealousy, I'll just... Give me that. Oh my god, it works! Okay, well, this was worth it. Okay, this is the easiest boss fight I've ever had, ever. Oh my goodness.
Incredible.
I don't even know what to say. I just took a whim and it worked.
Well, that will definitely change the speedrun forever.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that right there is the trick I was looking for. Oh my gosh, I took a massive risk doing this. Wait a minute, there's no way. It saved me so much time. Wait a minute, there's no way. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm so nervous, come on.
You got this.
Time, you can time it.
Time.
Oh my goodness, I was what, like 7 seconds away from world record?
Yeah, it was like a 132.52.
No, was it really?
Sure.
Oh no,
That
I'm
was
sorry.
until
I was
they
looking at
started
the.
to get
Okay,
sick.
no, it was one. That was final time.
What was
That cursed swamp
Okay.
poisoned our water.
Oh my goodness, I thought you
Outbound
just I was like, I
nearly
got
wiped
world
off the
record.
map because of
Oh,
it.
but I'm like 20 seconds off
Yeah,
from world
20
record. That's absolutely insane.
20 seconds
There
away.
were
Oh
only
my
a handful
goodness.
left.
Okay,
Some
so
who needed help
I
crossing
thank you
over.
all so much. Thank you, thank you. I think I might go rerun this game to
And
go break
somebody
world
was going to
record.
do
Do it.
Happy Bear, you are amazing. You have been such a great host. Thank you so much. Cora, I really hope this all works out for you. I am wishing you the absolute best, and I hope you find a place that accepts you for who you are. Viewers, thank you for being here to support it. But with that, I'm gonna be quiet so you can watch this real quick.
I shouldn't have gone into the cave. What have I done? What have I done?
I don't want to remember. It was me.
Alright. Adrian, as you read like the things, another body was found, a whole village poisoned, there was a cult involved, and then you'll see it says the end with a question mark. So technically this is not the end of the game. This isn't even the end of the run. We as speedrunners stop here though, because there's an actual thing called Chapter 5, which you play as a whole new ghost that you have never seen, and you go on a journey to collect the 4 Apex figments, and you use them to fight the actual final boss of the game.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole nother game within the game. It's just as long as the actual game itself.
What a ride. That was so exciting to witness. And yeah, you you absolutely smashed it, and I wouldn't be surprised if you get a world record today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, with that, I want to say thank you to Skeed. Thank you to Vex, even though, you know, there's some things going on. Thank you both for helping with my Discord and pushing me to do these types of things. Happy by 3, Osmorn, thank you guys for hitting me up personally and asking if I want to be a part of this. Both of you, I hold you guys in high regards. With that, I don't really have anything else to say other than just thank you, everybody.
Soil, where can we find you if we'd like to come watch more exciting speedruns?
Yeah, you can follow me at twitch.tv/SongofSoil, or you can join the Discord, and you can actually find all of the information for the Discord if you go into src.com, go to the forums, and under speedrunning, you'll see a thing that says April bounty for $500 in prizes. You'll see all information for what's going on now, or Skeed the Kangaroo posted a link in the chat a little bit earlier. I think Happy by 3 might have reposted it. That is a link to the Discord if you guys want to come check out what we have going on. But otherwise, that's it, and I appreciate you guys so much.
Right on. Well, Soil, thank you so much. That was so exciting. And chat, thank you for hyping Soil up and supporting. This was very fun and enjoyable to watch. All right, well, we've got another exciting run coming up. The Flipside Pit of 100 Trials, a Super Paper Mario category by Cats Forever. But before we go there, we do need to take a break. And everyone, unfortunately, this is the end of my time hosting for Corathon. I have had an absolute blast today. First with the Spyro run, then the Portal run, and then Outbound Ghost. Wow. So fun. But I do have to take my leave, but I will be leaving you with a tea tree who will be hosting for the next little bit, and they will take good care of you. If you'd like to come hang out with me, I have a Twitch channel at twitch.tv/HappyBearLives. I also have a YouTube channel, just Happy Bear, where I do speedrunning documentaries, so definitely come hang out. I would love to share the fun with you. Okay, team, we're going on a quick break, but I'll see you next time.